Good evening, everybody. The African National Congress likes to refer to rule as opposed to governance in the context 24 years, 26 years, 27 years, as it will be on the 27th of April this year, 2021, of ANC rule. Well, we are ruled by idiots and perverts. The department, what you and I know as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but which is called this week the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, paid 118 million rand for a piece of land that did not exist in New York. The Department of International Relations and Cooperation, its deployed cadres or the deployed cadres of the ANC in the Department of International Relations and Brotherly Cooperation, bought with state money a piece of land allegedly for the erection of housing, what is a better word, hostelry if you like, accommodation, lodging for the embassy in New York. I don't know exactly how the system works in the USA, that is to say, how the South African system of embassies, high commissions and consulates works in the USA. I presume that the embassy is in Washington and that there's a high commission or a consulate in the city of New York. I haven't bothered to do the research, quite honestly. In any case, in New York City, New York, the deployed cadres of the African National Congress in the Department of International Relations and Cooperation bought for the purposes of accommodation for their staff at the consulate or high commission a piece of land to be developed, as I've already said twice, for the purposes of this accommodation. But the land did not exist. That's right, guys. They're taking it to new heights or new lows. You know, this is impossible, don't you? That no matter how, I say we are ruled by idiots and perverts, but in fact, there's no idiocy and no perversity or criminality here. In as much as, let me put it another way. I beg your pardon. There's no way that they accidentally didn't go and look at the piece of land, that nobody could get that right. In other words, there's a demand manufactured out of thin air for accommodation. Poor embassy staff, consular officials have got nowhere to sleep. We need to buy a piece of land and we're going to erect a skyscraper or we're going to erect a compound or whatever. Okay, I heard there's a piece of land down the road. We don't need to bother to go and look at it. Let's just buy it. It couldn't have happened that way. The only way that they could not have known that the land didn't exist was if it was deliberate. There's no amount of accident, even in the African National Congress, believe me, that could have led to them not knowing and not bothering to look. except that it was deliberate. You and I both know what happened here. No matter what anybody who lives in, I don't know where, Parkhurst, Parktown, Parkview, Parkmore, no matter what any of those idiots from the University of Witwatersrand and the cafeterias and what have you, street-side restaurants, no matter what they tell you, I'm telling you that this was 100% deliberate. 118 million rand for a piece of land that was never, whose existence was never verified. Nobody ever went to see if it was there. Or they would have found out pretty quick sticks that the GPS coordinate, the pin drop, didn't exist. Sorry about that, Aaron. Please cut it out. That means that they avoided looking at it deliberately. Which means they were all in on it. And people wonder why South Africa, as per a video that we did about it 2 weeks ago, South African millionaires are leaving. And people wonder why the best and the brightest, the most talented, the most competent, the most capable of our society are leaving. Because they are the best, the brightest, the most competent, the most capable. Because they can see through the rubbish that the residents of Craighall Park just can't. They just don't have the intelligence. They're working in Sandton for marketing companies on the basis of cool tattoos, or in advertising companies on the basis of the fact that they're young and bright and they're in tune and in touch. And if we would just open a Twitter account, we would make billions. Or because they're of the right gender, or because they're of the right color. But they're stupid. I don't say it with hatred. We all have faults and flaws and weaknesses and blemishes, both physical, or all of physical, mental, psychological, if you want to separate brain and mind, as we Christians are obliged to do. So it's not I don't say it in a spirit of disparagement. Trust me. People who know me well, Andre Kutsia, he'll tell you my weaknesses. There's no lack, there's no shortage. But today we talk about them, not me. Stupid people who live in Blairgowrie and what do you call this place? I can't think of the name, where they have the big market. And on Sundays they buy nice cheeses and things that smell pretty, and They get paid enormous sums of money, but they're as thick as the ground under you as you watch this video, whether you're standing up or sitting on a chair that is ultimately on a floor, that is on a foundation, that is on ground. I'm looking at the numbers of South Africa's dollar millionaires. Who left last year. We did a video about this the other day, 2 weeks ago. %10 left, because they are the ones with real brains. They're the really actually competent, capable people. 10% of South Africa's dollar millionaires left last year. Gone. Just under, like 9.9%. This is research by New World Wealth and Afrasia Bank. Because when people in Constantia and Noordhoek and San Michel and Hout Bay, when they read that the department, the deployed cadres of the African National Congress in the Department of International Relations and brotherly, whatever it is, paid 118 million rand for a piece of land in New York that didn't exist. They're not clever enough. They're too stupid. I said with love, really, really, really. There, but for the grace of God, go I. They are too stupid to understand that that could only have been deliberate. That there is no way, by accident, that not one member of that consular staff happened to go and have a look if it was there. The only way that nobody went to have a look to see what they're buying was if it was deliberate. From bottom to top. They're all in on it. And they've been in on it. Excuse me, Ernst. And they've been in on it since the arms deal. This has got, listen here, state capture, it means nothing. Don't use the phrase. Don't use the expression. Don't use the term. Because you will inadvertently class yourself with imbeciles. What the phrase, the term, the expression does is it persuades people that the crisis of South Africa is caused by a particular group of people in a particular time frame, rather than the entire organism, namely the African National Congress. that drives the new South Africa rainbow nation in which we're all supposed to believe. It is what is known as a red herring, something intended to distract your attention, or a straw man. A straw man is an argument or a point in a conversation which is intended to digress from the main point. That's what it is. Right, so it's got nothing to do with state capture. It's happening now under Cyril Ramaphosa. It happened, this universal, ubiquitous, pervasive perversity. It happened under Jokapuvi, what's his name? Jacob Zuma. It happened under Kgalema Motlanthe. It happened under Thabo Mbeki, hand over fist. It was under Thabo Mbeki. Hey, guys, I could tell you stories. I could tell you stories. My babu. It happened under Nelson Mandela. Come on, guys. I've got an even better video on this theme. You won't believe it. I'll see you now. Don't go away. Stay right there.